I see that Meech Home concert got the streets talking. The biggest Meech Home. The streets back, that's what I'm talking about. That's how real niggas come home and get it down.
Yes, Charleston White is correct. I'm a rapper, not a dealer. Be sure to catch my new show, 50 Cent, 50 Ways to Catch You.
50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You ready? I will buy your masters.
50 Cent just went full savage mode, clowning Big Meech after rumors spread that Rick Ross might have finessed him out of a $120 million deal. Ross came in loud, talking wild about movie empires, major projects, and a legendary comeback, but when the smoke cleared, Meech was left broke and embarrassed. Now 50's online roasting the whole situation like it's a comedy special and fans can't get enough of it. People are even saying the only way this chaos ends is if Meech and 50 settle it in the ring. That's how wild it's gotten. It all started when Meech, fresh out and ready to rebuild his empire, linked with Rick Ross, who rolled in flashing fake promises and imaginary film budgets. A $120 million movie, huge projects? Please. On paper, it looked like Meech was finally about to cash in on his legend, but in reality, Ross delivered nothing. Word is, Ross used Meech's name just to flex on 50 Cent, his longtime rival, instead of actually building something solid.
But when you take little Meech and you put him in fucking acting school, you know, you take him from Detroit. I remember him rapping when he was rapping and nobody was helping him from what I seen. Cause I remember when Lil Meech was rapping. Nobody helped him, and then 50 put him in acting school, kept it on the low, and he made all this money. You understand what I'm saying? But to be young and have money is crazy, because we was young and had money before, so I understand. Motherfucker got Richard Millie's, Lil Meech got Richard Millie's Chrome Hard jeans, 10,000. I buy some Chrome Hards for 10,000, I might wear them shits for a month, bro.
Meanwhile, 50 was the one putting in real work funding the BMF show, paying for Lil Meech's acting lessons, and creating a platform that actually brought results. Ross, all talk, no hustle. And it's not just 50 saying that, either Tony Yayo even confirmed it, breaking down how 50 handled all the heavy lifting while Ross sat back watching from the sidelines. Now reports say Meech feels played and broke, realizing Ross only linked with him to throw shade at 50. That's cold-blooded. But it gets even messier, because just days after those leaked texts where Lil Meech supposedly said F Ross, he was spotted chilling with Ross in the club, smiling and whispering in VIP like nothing happened. This story's getting crazier by the minute. The internet went crazy when clips dropped of Ross and Meech standing side by side, grinning under red lights while cameras flashed all around. It looked like a movie, but the internet wasn't buying it. Of course, 50 Cent didn't let that moment slide. He hopped online and hit them with one of his signature troll jokes, saying Ross told Lil Meech to give him his dad's address so he could send over some Wingstop. Like, imagine your family drama turning into a fast food punchline. That's straight up savage. But that Wings jab wasn't just comedy, it was a message.
Yeah, so look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino, it's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big, I can feel it.
50 was really saying Ross ain't feeding Meech opportunities, just tossing him scraps. And just when fans thought the drama couldn't go any further, 50 cranked it up again, posting, then deleting. A wild claim that he had to send Lil Meech to rehab. He said Meech was showing up to set high, getting sick during a weapons test, and that they even found whippets in his truck. 50 said he didn't even know what whippets were till he Googled it, and then made it sound like he was the one holding Meech down, trying to keep him focused, while his dad was out here cheering on the same bad habits. That's deep and messy, and 50 made sure the whole world saw it. Lil Meech just couldn't catch a break. The man even got arrested at the airport, and once 50 posted that, people started wondering if 50 actually saved Lil Meech's career from crashing before it ever took off. So why is Meech siding with Ross now? That's when another voice jumped in and lit the internet up. Michael Rainey Jr., better known as Tariq from Power, was on live stream when a fan asked if he felt bad for Lil Meech. Instead of playing nice, he went full savage, no filter, no hesitation.
February 13th, the Big Meech home benefit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Boss Man D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now, this the first time it's ever been done. Me performing BMF with the icon himself. This shit gonna be special.
Epic.
Get your tickets right now.
I'm back.
The clip exploded online, spreading everywhere in minutes, and guess who reposted it with a huge laugh? Yep, 50 Cent. He backed Michael's words in the caption, doubling down on the whole Meech is weak talk. The timing couldn't have been worse for Meech. It made him look like he was losing respect from everyone in 50's circle. It started looking like Meech was turning into the outcast of a crew that once lifted him up. But this whole drama didn't just pop up overnight. The tension had been building ever since Big Meech's failed comeback concert right after his release. Fans expected fireworks. He had plans for a massive welcome back show packed with big-name rappers, the kind of event that should have been legendary. But instead of bringing in 50 Cent, the man who literally turned his life story into a hit TV series, Meech teamed up with Rick Ross to push the event. They dropped flashy promo clips, hyping it like it was about to change hip-hop forever. But that move backfired hard. The concert flopped before it even kicked off. And for 50, that was the final straw. He called Meech out for making shady moves and started lighting him up online. Fans who once saw Meech as a real street legend started doubting if that image was genuine or just a story.
Sitting back, you think about it, right? Where you got a female that's running for you while you in prison, putting her life on the line, you entrusted in her to keep your secrets, right? You done signed over your life rights and all these things, right? I know the conversation as an inmate that we have with women. Baby, it's me and you, right? I gave the life rights to you. I didn't give them to my baby mama. I didn't gave them to you. I need you to do this thing, like make this happen. And she's doing all these things, right? And then he gets out of paroles to his baby mama.
And linking up with Ross only made it worse. To a lot of people, it looked like Meech traded loyalty for clout. And 50 made sure the whole internet saw it that way with his non-stop trolling. The comeback that was supposed to bring Meech back to glory ended up being the moment fans stopped backing him. That's when Meech finally decided to clap back. He posted an old photo with 50 but slapped a giant rat emoji right over 50's face. No guessing there, he was calling 50 a snitch. Then he doubled down, calling him an internet gangster, saying all he does is talk tough from behind a phone. Rick Ross jumped in too, mocking 50 for being salty about his bond with Meech. Fans saw it as a full-on tag team, Ross and Meech teaming up just to poke the bear even harder. There's even a clip where Ross straight up mocked 50 for getting emotional about seeing Meech standing next to him. But here's where it gets wild. Everyone noticed the irony. 50 was the one who gave Lil Meech real opportunities. Money, acting classes, and TV exposure. Meanwhile, Ross was only handing out photo ops and Instagram moments. Even with everything 50 did for him, Meech still looked more loyal to Ross, and that confusion lit up the next big rumor.
Do I feel bad for Lil Meech? I don't feel bad for no grown man on this planet. Like, I'm a grown man. Why the f I gotta feel bad for another grown man? Like, you a grown man too. What you asking for my sympathy for? You be alright. Oh,
Meech actually wanted to fight 50 Cent for real. After that wild rat post and Ross's non-stop trolling, the internet exploded with talk of a boxing match. Some fans were hyped like it was about to be the showdown of the decade, while others said it was just sad like Meech was chasing clout instead of protecting his legacy. But what really fueled the rumor was Meech himself. When someone asked if he'd ever swing back, he said he'd lace up the gloves if it came down to it. Even if he said it halfway as a joke, the internet took it and ran crazy. Once that boxing talk hit the blogs, it spread everywhere fast. Every page, podcast, and YouTube channel was debating the same thing. Would they really throw hands? 50 versus Meech, the comeback that flipped into full-blown chaos. The internet hasn't stopped buzzing since that matchup talk dropped. Some fans said 50 was just trolling like always, but others swore he'd actually step in the ring just to make a point. Either way, their beef turned into straight-up entertainment for the culture. But behind all the online noise, something real was happening. Insiders started whispering that 50 wasn't even thinking about fighting, he was thinking about burying Meech in business. Word is, he started locking in new deals, pushing promo for the next BMF season, and reminding everybody who really made that story pop. He wanted people to see the difference. One man stacking paper, the other chasing headlines. Meanwhile, Ross leaned into the chaos, posting slick captions, laughing in interviews and saying, "The boss don't fight, the boss invests," throwing shade and fake wisdom at the same time. Every post made it look like he was cool and unbothered, but fans caught on quick. They noticed how often Ross kept dropping 50's name, and that's when folks started saying Ross was using Meech as a pawn just to stay relevant. The more Ross talked, the worse it started to look, and then came the curveball. A leaked clip from behind the scenes of the BMF set showed 50 cracking jokes about people who switch sides for crumbs. Fans instantly connected the dots and flooded the comments, tagging Meech and Ross like 50 had just aimed straight at them. It blew up overnight with hashtags like #FakeBossMoves and #Team50 taking over the internet. At that point, Big Meech couldn't stay silent anymore. He jumped online, posting a serious video saying he's tired of being used for clicks. No filters, no chains, no flashy background, just him talking raw. He said, "People out here turning my name into a meme, I'm not for that." But instead of calming things down, it split fans right down the middle. Some said 50 was exploiting the situation for clout, while others felt like Meech was finally waking up to who really had his back. And right when it seemed like things were cooling off, 50 fired another shot. He posted a cryptic story that said, "You can't play boss if you never ran a thing." That line went viral instantly. Everybody knew who he meant, even though he didn't drop names. Hours later, Ross clapped back from a private jet, laughing with the caption, "Some people troll on phones. Real bosses fly private." The shade was undeniable. The back and forth had fans glued to their screens like it was a full-blown reality show. But then came the biggest twist. Lil Meech popped up again. This time, he wasn't in a club or next to Ross. He was surrounded by his old crew from before the fame. In the clip, he said, "I'm done choosing sides. I'm doing me." That one line hit hard. Nobody knew if he was cutting both of them off or setting up a whole new chapter for himself. Blogs went crazy, claiming Lil Meech might be plotting a doc or a tell-all to finally break down everything that happened behind the scenes. Now fans are divided. Some say 50 won the war with business moves. Others think Ross took the crown with pure style. And a few believe Meech might just flip this entire situation into a comeback story of his own. Whatever happens next, one thing's for sure, this saga's far from over. Every post, every video, every cryptic caption turns into a headline, and everyone's watching closely to see who plays the next card first. But just when talk of a 50 Cent versus Big Meech fight started catching fire, Wack 100 jumped in, and what he said flipped the whole story upside down. Wack 100 didn't pull up with jokes or hype. He came with claims that shook the whole internet. According to Wack, this beef wasn't just about loyalty or Rick Ross, it was about a secret. He claimed that Meech's close associate, Tammy Cowan, once told 50 that Big Meech had actually worked with federal authorities on other street cases. That one statement lit the internet on fire instantly. Wack was basically hinting that maybe Meech wasn't as loyal to the streets as people always believed, and that's where the whole snitch narrative from 50 supposedly started. But Wack didn't stop there. He said Tammy might have had her own reasons to flip on Meech, either because she felt abandoned when he got locked up, or because she was mad about him trying to take back his life rights. The same ones 50 had already locked in for the BMF series. That detail made the story explode even more. If what Wack said was even halfway true, that would mean the person closest to Meech might have been feeding 50 ammo the entire time. Imagine that your own confidant, possibly playing both sides. Fans went into full detective mode, digging through old interviews, social media posts, and subtle moves, trying to figure out if Wack was exposing the truth or just stirring chaos for clicks. Either way, his words gave 50 fresh fuel, and of course, he ran with it immediately. The trolling came back stronger than ever. But then came one of the wildest moments, yet Big Meech popped out rocking Kanye West's graduation jacket. The same iconic fit from the album that famously outsold 50 back in their 2007 face-off. On the surface, it looked like just another random flex, but fans caught the symbolism instantly. Some laughed, saying Meech was being bold, while others swore he did it on purpose to remind everyone that 50 had lost once before. Either way, the internet went into meltdown mode again. But what really caught people off guard wasn't the jacket. What really shocked everyone wasn't what Meech did, it was 50's silence. Normally, 50 would have been the first one online, cracking jokes, dropping memes, or roasting the fit in front of millions. But this time, nothing. No captions, no subs, no slick comments, just pure silence. And that silence spoke louder than words. Fans started whispering that 50 was holding back on purpose, waiting for the perfect moment to fire off something heavy. Because when 50 stays quiet, it usually means he's loading up a bigger shot. At this point, it's clear this beef stopped being about entertainment. It's personal now. 50 looks locked in on Meech like he's got a score to settle. Most beefs fade out over time, but not this one. Every single move Meech makes gets a reaction directly or indirectly. Some say 50 feels betrayed, like he built up Lil Meech just to watch him get cozy with Ross. Others think it's all about dominance because 50 doesn't just like to win, he likes to control the game. Letting Meech slide would make him look soft, and that's not an image 50 ever lets stick. Now, if this ever jumps from IG comments to a real ring, it won't just be for clout, it'll be the final chapter in a feud that's gone way too far. One man's fighting to protect his legacy, and the other's trying to flip it for laughs. And judging by how heated it's gotten, this isn't just rumor anymore, it's starting to look like the next move waiting to happen. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll catch you in the next video.